Hi, I'm Stephen Budden. I'm an existential detective. I help people find themselves. I was thrown onto this course through a crash and a break, literally, when an ocean wave broke my neck in the Pacific in 2008. So, this was part two of a journey that caused me to rethink everything I thought that I knew about the world and about life and about consciousness. And part one, I was walking down a beach with my father in 2005, and I saw a woman run by, and she left footprints, and a wave washed them out, and I was swept over with this profound sense of completeness like I'd never known before. And this set me on a journey of healing and transformation. That's a lot of what I learned comes from that experience. This voice I heard comes from that experience. I entered into a higher state of consciousness, and this voice has become a guide for me. And I think it's a piece of my own evolved self. It's a piece of my spirit, you would say. It's the voice of God, you would say. Whatever comes from the higher collective. And you have available to you the same voice, the same higher consciousness voice. And this voice can aid in healing. It's a voice, and it's also an energy. It can come in imagery. Voice is probably the wrong word. Divine messenger. And once it's activated, you can see the divine message in everything, as in the Sufi teachings. There's a cat over there, as in the shamanistic teachings of South America, the clouds across the sky, reading the tea leaves. It doesn't really matter because you're trusting yourself. I find a lot of solace in analyzing stories. And in this age of digital proliferation of volume of knowledge and information and distractions, I actually like to read paper books, and a lot of the knowledge I find is because I procure old paper books and read them. And I think humans have known a lot throughout time that has been sort of lost. And with this digital reality, now everything's curated. So you think between point A and B, and it's very hard to go way over here, right? Because you'll should it be a Republican or Democrat? As Werner Erhard gave a famous talk, people are on this train and they keep running back and forth because they see that the track is ending. They run to the left side of the train thinking it'll change something. They run to the right side of the train thinking it'll change something, while the train's still barreling toward its end. And that's what a lot of these false dualities do for us. They're this far on the spectrum when you need to be over there by the greenery, over in the park, like metaphorically. You need to be off the reservation of this little purview of what we think is real. So when I awakened to this, I was just writing today because I do my focused writing each day, at least a page per day, of focused, uninhibited, inner, something like journaling, though I often share parts of it if it resonates with other people. And what I discovered was that we are here to elevate our consciousness to such an extent that our emanations become healing to ourselves and the world. And I was analyzing the Christian story of the three wise men that bring the baby Christ, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And this is the idea that any story you analyze is healing for you. It doesn't really matter. There's not really right or wrong in that sense. A story is there so you can dance with it, so you can archetypally let it interface with you. And this is an example of that. I just had this epiphany in the night, like a month ago, where I was like, oh, I know what those gifts are about. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And knowing what those gifts are about reminds me that you have your gifts too, and your gifts came in early childhood, and if you embrace those gifts, that will be the clue of what you came here to do in this world. So the three wise men, and according to Dolores Cannon, Jesus in the Essenes, there was a fourth wise man that never showed up. So there may be another archetypal gift. Or the gift that never showed up is the mystery, and that's the gift that you find in the world and create, perhaps. And the gold is obviously wealth, some sort of abundance, could be spiritual or economic wealth. Jesus obviously had access to both. When I say obviously, supposedly he was poor, as in that's a pagan teaching adopted from Christianity. However, his uncle was one of the wealthiest men in the world. Joseph of Arimathea took him all over the world, according to, again, Dolores Cannon, Jesus in the Essenes. So you need, and your life is a little bit easier, right, when you're born into a family that has enough to get by on. So some sort of abundance, some sort of security. Humans need this in this modern time. The story of Jesus being born under the auspices of this Roman-controlled province is to me a symbol of humanity in general under the auspices of this control structure. So a lot of these things I see as metaphors in that sense. Frankincense, years ago I learned that frankincense, incense or otherwise, is learned to call upon unseen powers. So your relationship to the divine and opening that channel. Obviously, he had and needed that. So these are the gifts. We have and need each of these as well. Like your alchemical or your metaphorical gold may be different than actual gold or actual digital currency or whatever. However, we have and need each of these things. Myrrh. I was using myrrh to numb a tooth because it's like a well-known analgesic painkiller. It was one of the primary ones before the introduction of certain medicines. So a sort of relationship to pain that makes it not halt you in your tracks. Because we know that Jesus, when embodied by the solar logos, had to go through a lot of pain. And so will you, and so did I, this broken neck thing, etc. Pain, pain, pain. And that's a core, I'm cracking my neck now, that's a core pain that will stay with you. A spinal injury, a blow to the head, etc. A disease. So don't let pain stop you in your spiritual journey. Because most of us, if we're like, I need to stay on my spiritual journey or I'm going to be crucified, we'd be like, oh man, I'm going to second guess this and maybe move over there. And so did the historical Jesus, right? At least according to the stories as they come to us. There are some wavering doubts in that mind. And then there is a profound solidarity and a profound intention to go forward and to stay in communion as in alignment with the frankincense gift. So think about it. And Joseph of Arimathea was one of the reasons, if you read a book called The Lost Disciples, he's one of the reasons that Christianity and Christ didn't just disappear. Though that seems unlikely, he was one of the humans like Paul that put the most effort into moving this piece of the equation to what it is now. It's just this evolutionary process. Everyone considers this story, whether they're Christian or not, and just starts to kind of, what is that? What could that mean? What does it mean to me? What has it been to humanity? And asking all these questions that force our evolution. And Rudolf Steiner said that the Christ consciousness was a unifying force for all of humanity going forward. So what does that mean? The question is, I think that story, like many others, is you, is I, is a human coming into this body with this divine purpose, discovering what that is and living into it, using those gifts to stay in alignment with it, and unfolding and uncovering our gifts from our childhood wounds. You are designed to be broken and to heal because the gift is the break. The break is the awakening. You are broken open. Ring the bells that still can ring. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. You can hear Leonard Cohen's low and raspy voice. And that's you and that's us. How do you move forward with your divine plan in this information age? Courageously, serenely. There are things we're not meant to react to. Not being derailed by fear. Being informed by what's around. Staying in love with the planet and the people around. Cleaving close to love. Walking in the nuclear age fearlessly. Because if it all ends, it all ends. It's something like a game. And I can say this having children too, because they are part of this game. And so it doesn't mean nothing is serious. It just means from a state of view of you're a spiritual being, come here to accumulate experience, to learn to metabolize your finite quantity of energy. That's thunder roaring outside. Good sign. You're here to align with your purpose, learn service to others, as I said. Heal and transform, elevate consciousness so that your emanations become healing for yourself and the world. So that's a beautiful thing, and we're lucky we're here. So I'm Stephen Budden. I can assist you on the journey. if it works out that we are aligned in that way. If not, I sincerely wish you the best, and I will see you on the other side. Subscribe here if so inclined. I will try to post more when I can, though I spend a lot of time in the deep work and in writing and in seeing clients and in meditating. That's what I love most. This digital arena is a very dangerous place in the sense that it can derail you for years, as I spent years quasi-wasted. So I don't know anyone who's on their deathbed saying, I wish I would have spent more time on social media. And I've seen a few. So love and rapture. I'll see you on the other side.